Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're digging into a pretty detailed story from someone about their experience with Valvoline service.
Right, we've got their report, and we're going to look at it alongside, well, Valvoline's own code of conduct from 2024, and also some Texas consumer law info.
Exactly. So the goal here for you listening is to really understand the sequence of events, the potential, ethical or legal stuff involved, and why being an informed consumer is just so critical.
Okay, so where does it start? It seems the trouble kicked off right after an oil change back in January.
Yeah, January 23rd. The person noticed oil on their garage floor.
Yeah.
And then, the oil light came on. Mileage-linking car wasn't drivable. The receipt mentioned a manager, Frederick.
And Frederick's first reaction is interesting. He apparently blamed the oil loss on the car being parked on a slant.
The slant, okay.
Yeah, and then he offers to fix a rubber gasket at his house for $500 cash, part from Amazon. He also quoted $225 for a new battery.
Wow, okay. So red flags, maybe? Did that fix the leak?
Doesn't seem like it. Later on May 7th, there was another charge, just over $16 for oil or service. But the problem persisted.
So then another manager gets involved.
Angel.
Right. Angel steps in after a reporter contacted corporate, promised a free fix.
A free fix, okay. That sounds promising.
Well, yes, but Angel apparently refused to send anyone to check the car first, despite knowing it was leaking and wasn't really drivable. Assured them there was enough oil to get it to the shop.
I have a bad feeling about this.
You guessed it. The car broke down, maybe a mile or two down the road.
Yeah.
Check engine light, smoke, just shut off completely.
Oh, no.
Ended up costing $140 to tow it back to that same Valvoline. We've got the receipt for that too, May 7th.
So back at the shop, now towed in. What happened?
Angel apparently just stood in the back.
Yeah.
Frederick took over again.
Yeah. More advice.
Yeah, but it was kind of contradictory. Like, drive it, but add oil constantly. Avoid hills. But then the car wouldn't even start.
Wouldn't start. So the battery issue again. Frederick pushed the battery issue, yeah. Gave an ultimatum. But then shifted the diagnosis to the fuel pump, admitting they didn't have the tools to fix it anyway.
So, what now?
They basically demanded the car be moved off the property, and our reporter saw Frederick leaving later, not in uniform, after making some calls.
This whole thing sounds messy. Let's talk about Valvoline's code of conduct. Integrity, honesty. How does this stack up?
Well, Angel's promise of a free fix that didn't happen, plus telling them it was safe to drive. That seems questionable, right?
Definitely. And Frederick's changing stories. The side job offer.
Exactly. That side offer looks a lot like a conflict of interest under their own rules. And customer success, quality of service, a car return basically unusable.
Yeah, doesn't quite fit. The free fix also touches on their rules about fair marketing, doesn't it?
It does. It really makes you think about management oversight and employee responsibilities, Was Angel supervising Frederick properly? Seems not.
Yeah, what about Texas law? The DTPA?
The Texas Deceptive Trade Practices Act, yeah. It prohibits false or misleading statements about repairs, taking advantage of someone's lack of knowledge.
So things like saying the car was okay to drive. The unfulfilled free fix, leaving the car in worse shape.
Potentially, yes. Misleading statements, work not done properly, maybe even an unconscionable action given the whole situation. These could all fall under the DTPA.
Which brings us to the formal complaint this person prepared. It lays all this out.
It details the events, points to these specific Valvoline code sections and potential DTPA violations, and crucially, it mentions evidence like photos and receipts. It asks for reimbursement, repair costs, an apology, the works.
It's a powerful example of documenting everything.
Absolutely. It highlights that gap that can sometimes exist between what a company says its values are and, well, what a customer actually experiences.
So wrapping this up, this deep dive really underscores the friction that can happen when service doesn't meet stated standards. It pushes us to think about accountability.
For sure. And it makes you, the listener, consider, faced with something similar, what steps would you take? How would you navigate that?